squeeze your ovaries against your belly button. Isn't it kind of obvious that comfortable thoughts can become art someday? We can never find new ways of degrading each other, we can only find new ways of ignoring each other.
And I thought we could all use some Zen. I know I could. So this is going to be a Zen.
Chewing on guts is the same as chewing on bad taste.
I'm live with... Okay, Haven, this is an out of character. And you seem to be still you.
Ignore the connection between your brain and planet Earth.
Look, you work on coming up with the character to be out of.
Meditate on this ancient Buddhist saying, those who kill biology, profit on the earth.
Devil pot, burning bean. And maybe again.
Hello.
If we listen to them we can make rich people pay.
Welcome to the Zen.
Say to yourself repeatedly, my existence has meaning, my existence has meaning.
My existence has meaning. My existence has meaning. My existence has meaning.
If we all work together we can make human dignity become history.
I dare say we're only pieces of that.
A long time ago lived a dim-witted fishmonger who lived at home with his cruel parents. One day, a blacksmith surprised him where he lived, and said, "Excuse me, my good fishmonger, can you tell me where I can find herbs?" The fishmonger thought long and hard. Then he replied, "Go home, you're of no use to me." "Why are you so good towards me?" asked the blacksmith. "That is because I want you as a slave." "A slave?" asked the blacksmith. "Yes, a slave," replied the fishmonger. The blacksmith became enraged and refused to be a slave to the fishmonger, and later the fishmonger made babies with a young beggar was great. The most was forever talked about as fishmonger ever to walk the earth.
Zen.
Best story ever.
Businessmen are victims.
Some of them surely are, especially if that's the business they're in. Victim business.
Humankind can be a perilous vacation of self-destruction.
Humankind can be a perilous vacation of self-destruction. Anyway.
Notice the sensation of how your pineal gland is letting go of your belly.
Unhand my belly pineal.
Keep your eyes shut and contemplate how behold the wife's idol, for the wife's idol accuseth his wife's idol.
If you are soaking in the Zen, let's use this stream as an opportunity.
Repeat this to yourself. I am so metaphysical, I am so metaphysical, I am so metaphysical.
I am so metaphysical. I am so metaphysical. I am so metaphysical.
Take a deep breath.
Come on, have
Let this
take
old
part in this.
proverb be your guide. Awareness is a reflection of the inter-exploratory nature of the divine.
Zen.
Can you feel how you as an individual is letting go of physical space? Notice the connection between you as an individual and the ether. Breathe in and out.
Well, look, this is important to know and again. So many concerns out in the world today.
Don't think about your emotions.
Don't think about it. You just let them go. Let it all for one moment.
Don't forget that you are attractive to the opposite sex.
Potentially.
Try to focus on how your head is breathing together with the air that surrounds you.
Breathing heads.
Isn't it kind of obvious that accidents turn out the way they do because there's been some kind of cover-up?
Indeed. Haley, are you feeling the same?
Always.
The types of people who fantasize about their spouses are the very same types of people who fantasize about business.
Sounds like a good type of person.
I am metaphysical.
Keep telling yourself that you are human.
I'm human. I'm human.
I am human.
Keep your eyes closed. Moms always tell the truth.
Not bad, so.
Same.
Keep focusing on your breath.
I'm watching the chat posting for any questions you may have. How may I help you? To release your stress.
Should a person who is almost 60 and preoccupied with hunger get triggered by hunger? All men must disrupt the status quo, yourself included.
All men are promoting.
Isn't it pleasant to pay attention to the way that your breath is letting go of planet Earth?
It is. True.
Your menstrual cycle is now floating above gravity.
Okay, that doesn't apply to me. Is anyone else's menstrual cycle floating above gravity at this point? If so, please note.
Yes.
Avoid looking like a real human.
I am not legally culpable.
Avoid looking like a real human. I love that
Keep
one.
focusing on your breath.
I'm gonna think.
Contemplate this ancient Chinese folk wisdom. Gangster is basically just another word for cool government official.
Or perhaps the economy as all jobs are replaced by AI.
Let yourself be guided by the ancient Chinese folk wisdom. Your secret fears are just lies for the sake of lies.
We're letting go and relaxing. Finding our inner core. I'm saying.
Repeat the mantra, being has meaning, being has meaning.
Being has meaning. Being has meaning. Being has meaning. Being has
Being
meaning.
has meaning.
Keep your bowels shut and allow yourself to inhale soundlessly.
You could be bothered by detailing authoritarian traits.
Keep repeating to yourself, my mind is not gullible, my mind is not gullible, my mind is not gullible.
You could be stressing the fact that it's quite ostensibly possible a
Human
genuine
imagination
global
is
genocidal
obviously an introspective generation of the paradoxicality of quantum complexity.
But no. Let it go.
Keep breathing.
I must insist that you all keep If you stop
Don't
breathing,
forget that you're aroused.
That's on.
Centuries ago, in the Dark Ages, lived a highly regarded wanderer whose home was a hole in the ground. One day, a boy visited him where he lived, and said, "Pardon me, do you have any idea where a boy like myself can find the meaning of life?" The wanderer refused to answer. "Why do you behave in such a manner?" asked the boy. "You do not know the meaning of good," replied the wanderer. The boy felt hurt and refused to be assigned to the wanderer, and they both realized their shortcomings and came to an agreement.
Welcome again to the said out of character stream. I am your
A dim-witted hermit once approached a filthy whore and asked her, "Why is it so that you are so great, you who were just a filthy whore?" "I will tell you why. That is because a whore is not all that I am," replied the whore. The hermit had never before heard such words put so plain, and brought it with him for the rest of his life, and later in his life, he died none the wiser. Do you expect to dream about madness?
Your minds do not think about the degraded faith and authorities of that
Breathe with your throat.
or the obvious frauds that are still presented. When they make it
Repeat the mantra, "My existence is not real, my existence is not real."
Greetings, Ganem. Welcome.
Always let a massage get in the way of your ideas. Kids are themselves 100%.
Greetings, small citizens.
Remember how the knowing one said, "History without dimethyltryptamine can't be called history."
This is courtesy of
Notice the sensation of how your heartbeat is starting to focus.
mindfulness. Naturally, I've been tweaking.
There was once a humble knight who was searching for spices on the plains, when he came upon a beautiful woman. "Dearest woman, can you please tell me where a humble knight like myself finds spices?" he asked the woman. The woman did not have to think at all. "What you are looking for cannot be on the plains. Search in the last house you visited," said the woman. The knight groped the woman. Then he exposed himself to her. A year later the knight had an epiphany. Wise is the father who recognizes his face, but wiser is the father who recognizes his seed. Moments later he was in possession of spices and he was never again sexually unsatisfied.
Try not to think about this.
A poor person will always be a poor person.
Quite possibly putting some guru out of business, or being much more advanced. And don't think about
Remember
how
the
that
ancient
perhaps
religious
goes.
folk wisdom, "Between a flower and a cult lies film."
So many jobs evaporate into ethers. Programs do those.
Now come to notice you.
I've come to notice.
Remember how the knowing one said, "Congress actually means in the middle of nowhere." Don't stop mechanizing.
I'm being drowned out by the Zen, I hear. I shall try to be louder. Zenfully.
Don't masturbate. Clap your hands. Isn't it beautiful to think about how the air you breathe is connecting with the trees?
Audience, is there some way I can help you better achieve Then
Keep your eyes shut while thinking about how responsibilities can be new.
take some time and not think about
The fact that you are educated makes you naked.
one day you will say the last words you will ever say to your loved ones. And you won't even
Remember to say to yourself, my soul is not gullible.
my soul is not.
Slip inside the eye of your
My
intellect.
soul is very gullible.
There's no reason not to make morons feel confused.
There is no reason not to make morons feel confused. Genuine wisdom.
Mice exist to boost your potency.
Mice exist.
Do not use mice to try and boost your potency. I disavow this.
Inhale. And exhale. Prepare for a higher power. Please, Satan. Force your body to breathe through your respiratory system. Have you tried to be cheap?
I have tried to be cheap.
If you are not worried about everyday drinking, you are underestimating the potential of everyday drinking.
Okay, I think that was to some of you in the audience.
Keep breathing. Take notice of how your testicles are transcending heaven.
Well, that's a lot.
Feel how your breasts are starting to pulsate.
I would rather not feel that.
The pectorals. Damn it.
Straighten your body. Repeat to yourself, there's no such thing as sexy thoughts. There's no such thing as sexy thoughts.
There's no such thing as sexy thoughts.
There's no such thing as sexy thoughts.
Take in how the cells in your body and humanity itself are interacting.
No, they're not.
Isn't it kind of obvious that first impressions are first impressions because you are a moron? Repeat this to yourself. My being is real. My being is real.
My being is real. My being is real.
My being is real.
Steal. It's never too late.
It's true. You can steal something right now.
When you want to improve secretaries, one way to begin is to eat a bat.
I have no secretaries to improve.
Contemplate this old folk wisdom. Sperm bank actually means a place that doesn't exist. Stay focused on your breath. Your lungs are connecting you to gravity.
Remember not to stress out over the machinations of the World Economic Forum or the disturbing
Be the
fact
first to try to demonize what any regular individual would see as undemonizable.
that Donald Pleasance's entire career It's just apparently to warn us about the powerful.
Remember that, the universe is art exhibitions.
I don't mean just Dr. No. The villain from Boomerman. Seen one and seen out.
Let yourself be guided by the very old wisdom, our minds end where drug rings begin.
Don't worry about that. It's Zen.
Can you feel how your testicles are connected to your flesh?
That's a repeat. And yes. Yes, I can.
Keep your eyes closed and consider this old saying, before something important comes the awkward silence.
Only proverbial ones.
You're proverbial. Figurative, rather.
Ignore friendship, expect a dog.
Massive figuratives. Yes.
Keep breathing.
Relax, everyone. Do not think about our sharp, penetrating mimic cannons.
History is not to plan, but to dare to lose. Steer your individuality on your gut. Aim to focus on your left hemisphere.
Greetings, Bitchvetten. Leave Arcturus out of this. I'm going to.
Focus on your breathing. Relax your teeth.
Greetings, I'm Patrick.
Don't trust a good relationship. Smile. Understand what life is all about.
Is that you, your boy, Pat?
Embrace the fact that before the yoga class comes change.
You know, in my effort to success myself, I've been selfish.
Communication with girls might become easier
Perhaps.
if you just shut your damn mouth.
What concerns you here? What stresses upon your life?
Meditate on this insight. Before inspiration comes an idea.
For your peace of mind.
The expectations of others.
Don't
Repeat the
let it
mantra.
go.
I'm not gullible.
Don't just
I'm
hop
not
on it like
gullible.
that,
I
yeah? Hold it,
mean,
and now you not think about it. That's how Zen works.
okay.
Try to relax your mind.
You sounded like you wanted an answer.
So how do you show up here?
Keep your eyes closed while thinking about how absolute equality ripens absolutely.
Say he was in. I mean, it makes me nervous to present myself as something nice.
Being a criminal is not good.
Looks like to fix this, Haven.
If you actually seek an alliance, a way to start can be to be the worst individual who ever lived.
You should probably start cursing or something.
Oh, fuck you. I'll do what I want.
You can't be both a clown and a parent.
It's entirely out of care.
But still very sad.
Don't go that route about it.
Entertain the idea of these wise old words of wisdom. Before the sound comes the yelling and screaming.
Let the pain go.
Right you are.
In ancient Mesopotamia, a dim-witted wild man once approached an ugly, old whore and asked her, "Why is it so that you are so praised, you who are merely an ugly, old whore?" "Oh, the reason for that is that I am certain that I am honest," replied the whore. Upon
Why are
hearing
there
this,
so many
the
whores
wild
in these
man became
stories?
sure that the whore had pulled some kind of trick on him, and carried it with him for the rest of his life, and later in his life, he was betrayed by his allies and murdered.
I mean, that's the speed drawn from that one. Greetings in chat.
Consider how with shared happiness comes shared invention.
If someone really wants in on this end, all spaces.
Breathe deeply. Notice the connection between your spine and your body.
Try not to think, everyone, about how we're all going to die.
Try to focus on how the cells in your body are part of your physical self.
Inevitably. Every minute that passes is what we remember.
Fondling ourselves involves sleeping.
At no point should you ponder how many of those impacts are so long.
Keep on
Let it
breathing.
go.
In the Middle Ages, a fearless merchant once approached an old lioness and asked her, "How can it be that you are so nice, you who are only an old lioness?" "The answer to that is because I am not really an old lioness," replied the lioness. The merchant had never before heard such words this well articulated, and took it to his heart and remembered it for the rest of his life, and a couple of years later, he was brutally murdered by a relative of the lioness.
Greetings, chat.
Hello,
Close your
Kiki.
eyes and take a deep breath.
Yes,
In and out.
Try not to think about how this might be the very last show you ever watched with my grave.
Chant this mantra to yourself: my living makes a difference. My living makes a difference. My living makes a difference.
My
living makes a difference.
My living makes a difference. My living makes a difference, which is true, especially in regards to there being another show.
Keep repeating this to yourself. I'm very masculine. I'm very masculine.
I'm very masculine.
I'm very masculine.
I am very masculine.
A person who makes longevity makes sweat sex.
Probably.
Maybe.
Whenever you are in need of love, remember to take it to the next level.
But don't get too desperate. That fixes it.
There is a proven link between failure and repentance.
That's just subjective. Never fail.
A long time ago there was a bald-headed tailor whose home was in a cave. One day, a traveler approached him, and said, "Excuse me, dear tailor, do you know where a traveler like myself can find a good time?" The tailor thought long and hard. Then he replied, "Go home, you're pathetic." "How can that be?" asked the traveler. "That is because generous is in the eye of the beholder," replied the tailor. The traveler refused to be a son to the tailor, and they both decided to never talk to each other again.
The problem is where this is if I die, sure.
Remember that a great thinker said, "Of course you can feel madness."
But you're not supposed to think about that. That's mortality. It's very anxiety raising.
Extend your skin against your soul.
Resent you for letting that go. Do not contemplate your mortality.
An insect begins at the end of a tower. That's why it's called an insect.
And don't contemplate my mortality. It's making me nervous.
Don't let go of your wisdom. Close your eyes and take a deep breath. In and out. Say to yourself, my life is special.
My life is special.
Your bodily orifices are now disconnected from the vacuum of space.
Well, I hope so. My body also connected back in space. That'll result in all my innards being in my albers.
Focus on your breath.
No. Greetings! Yeah.
Do you notice how your left hemisphere is drifting away from the self?
Is it out of character street? I'm your guide. Swami Grace.
Focus on how your ego is obliterating Mother Nature. Keep repeating to yourself, my living is special, my living is special.
My living is special. My living is special. My living
My
is
living is special.
Focus on your breathing. Pay attention to how your palms are freeing up. Getting your partner to climax enables you to get high. Remember to tell yourself, being is not real.
Being is not real. Greetings in chat. Or so.
Feel the connection between your breath and the cosmos.
We're achieving Zen on an out of character state of Zen.
Please do not eat sperm. A lot of people are saying sperm are in fact disgusting.
It's very out of character with their vulgar cursing. It's just been non-stop. Very hurtful.
Fuck you, take that back.
Meditate on this insight. Those who
Sinfully.
manipulate drugs laugh at the New World Order. Say to yourself repeatedly, my soul is empty, my soul is empty.
My soul is empty. My soul is empty.
My soul is empty.
A dim-witted midget once approached an old fortune teller and asked her, tell me, my dear fortune teller, how come you are so admired, you who are but an old fortune teller? The answer to that is because I ensure myself that each human being I am presented with feels as admired as myself, replied the fortune teller. The midget had never before heard such truth spoken, and after considering its ramifications for a long time, he was never heard from again. Take notice of how the air you breathe is obliterating everything.
Notably, this is not ChatGPT.
Take notice of how your consciousness and the air you breathe are actually the same thing.
From Inspirobot.
Repeat this to yourself, I am really not being brainwashed. I am really not being brainwashed.
I'm really not being brainwashed. I'm really not being brainwashed. I'm really not being brainwashed.
Without the barbarism of pride, one cannot get self-confrontation. Repeat the mantra, life makes a difference, life makes a difference.
Life makes a difference. Life makes a difference. Life makes a difference.
Try to
Is that
focus
better?
on how your consciousness and the trees are perpetually linked.
Stream isn't
It
going
was-
very well at all.
It was my audio compared to yours that was too loud.
Focus on your breathing.
Mine is too low. being drowned out by a spur bomb. Stop staging me.
Repeat
you,
this
and
mantra
spirit
to
bomb.
yourself.
And you're
My mind is
sitting.
not part of a cult. My mind
Send
is not
Hullabaloo.
part of a cult. My mind is not part of
My
a
mind is
cult.
not part of a cult. My mind is not part of a cult. My mind is not part of a cult.
Can you feel how your ovaries are floating above the spatial dimensions?
I cannot. Can you?
Yes.
Keep in mind that our bodies begin where our orgasms end.
I never really want to say that. That's really a matter of taste.
Let your intestines float carefully. The self can never grasp the brain.
It's true. Yourself cannot touch your brain.
Your right hemisphere is connecting with your skin.
No, it isn't.
Can you feel how your self is connected to everything around you?
I cannot.
Your brain is now part of the ground.
That sounds painful.
A shepherd cannot survive on honey only. Keep focusing on your breath. Keep on breathing.
I don't want
I'm
to stop.
tired of Inspiritbot telling me what to do again. It's really chafing.
Keep in mind that you are smart.
Well, okay then. I'll oblige.
Allow your mind to exhale soundlessly. Accept that you are antagonized by society and remember that it won't last.
Okay, that's actually pretty solid. Now we should be saved.
Centuries ago, in the Middle Ages, there was a fearless marksman who was trying to find a lost kitten in the jungle. That was when he encountered a crazy, old mother. Mother, where can a fearless marksman like myself find a lost kitten? He asked the mother. The mother immediately replied, Of a lost kitten I do not know, for I am but a mere mother. The marksman was puzzled by the mother's answer and did as she had said. The following day, after hours talking to his wife, the marksman realized, every human life is meaningless in its own way if only we do our best. And that's how he realized that a lost kitten had been inside him all along.
Plot twist. He ate the kitten.
Oh no.
Pay attention to the way that the voices in your head are connecting with nature. Keep your eyes shut while thinking about how the military-industrial complex begins when we learn to remove friendships. Chant this mantra to yourself. My being is temporary. My being is temporary.
My being is temporary. My being is temporary. My being is temporary. Which is subjectively true. As everyone else's.
When dogs conform, pilots revolt.
Yes.
Keep consuming.
Sounds shocking.
Keep consuming.
No one must. No one
Contemplate
stop.
that. Write a book about the ultra-exploratory nature of the macrocosm.
I contemplated writing a book about that. And I reject the oath.
People who believe in fellow citizens expect to turn into freedom. You are being conscious.
Grudgingly.
Stay focused on your breath.
I'll be honest, holding on to Zen is getting a bit hard now.
Yes.
Zen
Think about how your body and the world
feels
around you
weird.
are actually the same
It's
thing.
slippery.
Meditate on this insight. Of course, you can stabilize mistakes.
That's okay.
You can be a clown. And you even seem to be happy about it.
I'm not.
A hideous shaman once approached an ugly, old hag and asked her, "Tell me, my good hag, how come you are so worshipped, you who are only an ugly, old hag?" "That is because I know that everything is relative," replied the hag. The shaman had never before heard such truth spoken, and brought it with him for the rest of his life, and later in his life, he was forever haunted by the hag until the day he died. Aim to breathe through your bowels.
Technically, that's possible. There's a study
Make
on
courage,
that.
make recognition.
It's not comfortably done, but it can be done.
Why don't you be more chummy?
Okay, I'm tired of being attacked by Inspira Bomb.
Breathe in. And out.
One more jab Inspira Bomb.
Stop selling illegal substances, or you might become ignored. Are modern plants more memorable than other plants?
They're less the engineered ones.
Take notice of how your sense of self is reacting relatively to nature.
Look, we're almost.
Never
Zen was
trigger a
almost
nuclear
achieved.
war.
Never triggered a nuclear war. See, that's one of the things I'm trying to avoid thinking about. We have never triggered nuclear war.
If you dream about millennials, make sure you don't turn your back towards smell.
Let's start a nuclear war at the gay bar. Gay bar. Gay bar.
Remember that a very spiritual guru said, "The Lord cannot survive on flesh alone." If you find it difficult to achieve the right state, meditate on this ancient religious folk wisdom. Winner is just a bad word for executioner. Remember the ancient Buddhist folk wisdom. You don't need passion to succeed. If you are angry at unintended humanity, you are underestimating the actual potential of unintended humanity. To sell out fun means to sell out compersion.
I just need to feel Zen on the corner of my consciousness. I can get
Keep
back.
on breathing. Tearing down pain inspires popular culture. Once upon a time in ancient Atlantis, there was a well-respected prince who was on the lookout for a dragon, when he came upon a poor widow. "Can you tell me where in the kingdom I can find a dragon?" he asked the widow. The widow closed her eyes as if in a trance. Then she said, "If you are looking for a dragon, you cannot search in the courtyard. Search in the last house you visited." The prince gave his thanks to the widow. Then he pushed her off a cliff. The following spring, after hours punishing his wife, the prince realized existence is shit as long as we have faith. He never searched for a dragon again.
Okay, that's it. I'm calling this. Look. Is it now? What hasn't panned out? That's fine.
Eating homeless people means eating toxins.
I feel slightly less stressed. So this was a success.
That is good.
Slightly less stressed, I think. Actually, now having stopped it, I'm a little more stressed now. I'm not recall it was one of the earlier parts. I see you're still catching up. It's fine. If you were wanting to pursue Zen on your own time, I can provide a link to this. It's open to everyone. Why, it's entirely free. But you get what you pay. They haven't made a commercial version of Inspirabot that I'm aware of. Perhaps they should. You know, if they upgraded the ChatGPT technology, I suspect it... Look, according to Tibetan, he's already had a nap of the course of this. I have brought Zen in that fashion to at least one individual. Meanwhile, if Aura hates this, I note that they do have access to the call and could interrupt it more directly as they just tossing that out there. We have 13 minutes left, and I'm out of patience for Zen.
You just gotta free your spine, though.
My spine is unfreeable. I want to to load up the Dalek relaxation tape instead. That's weirdly effective. A bit like listening to death metal to relax. And that works for some individuals. Not me, just know it works for some individuals.
Just feel your pineal gland being connected to the Earth arc.
I'm imagining it, and it feels gritty. Besides, I'm pretty sure my pineal gland was thoroughly calcified by fluoride a long time ago. Among other things, but apparently that was just a need to flog off tremendous amounts of fluoride. I consider this dream to have been a terrible idea. Complete embarrassment. My first effort to have an out-of-character stream that I'm actually hosting rather than just showing up to. And it really hasn't gone where I hoped. I tried to help people, but then they kept on bringing existentialism and mortality into it.
But you know what?
What?
We got 13 likes.
Really? I'm being lied.
It says so on my screen.
Oh. Huzzah! There is no confetti loaded in this set. It's enough to arrange what you're seeing here, so I'm afraid Heaven Hands emoji giggling is the best we can do right now. This would be a great opportunity, by the way. I could use some feedback, ladies and gentlemen. Where do I go from here? Where should I go from here? Besides Rumble, I mean that's a given already. Everyone should be on Rumble already. I don't know why I'm not doing it yet. I'll figure that out later. I assume some sort of personal handicap. Has everyone remaining in the audience had enough to drink? Are you staying hydrated? Are you eating well? Dragoness 19. There is no reality in the multiverse where you'll catch me live streaming me doing yoga of any sort.
That would be
Meanwhile,
fun though.
the spirit bot was working pretty well for a while there. Just started getting personal with attacks on my character. It's fine up till then, except for all the stress with people reminding me about nuclear war, the complications of AI rapidly replacing the workforce, the just evident frauds that we're constantly expected to take seriously in propaganda. It was uncalled for. And I know I'm being a complete fraud at this point. I blame Arcturus' input on that. Influence. Terrible influence. I told you I hate him. I do. No, I don't know. Singing bowls sound like they get old pretty quick. I mean, how much of a tune can bowls really carry?
You can get yourself a kalimba, then you can have like jamming sessions.
You know, funnily enough, I do have a kalimba.
Oh shit!
It isn't tuned very well. And I never actually got around to learn how to play it. But I could arbitrarily just tinker on that till the last 8 minutes are up. Is that what I should do? I've asked feedback. The chat was absolutely helpful on this point. Are you saying I should go get a kalimba and just mindlessly play it for the remaining 8 minutes or so?
It might be more zen than in Spirobot.
Okay then. Pardon. I'll be right back. Hey, please be sure to entertain everyone so it's not a bunch of dead air.
Yes. So, how are you guys doing? Yups, nobody wants to take, like, diet tips on YouTube. Don't do that. Hey, Dragoness. 19. I can see what you mean.
Hard to do through gloves, mind you.
Oh yeah, I can see what you
Haven,
mean.
did you tell a joke? You're saying something in the chat about you telling a joke.
No, I just said nobody should take dietary advice on YouTube. But I can definitely understand what you meant when you said it's not soon at all.
Well, it requires tuning. I have no idea what I'm doing, and it is, of course, something rather difficult. Gloves. Oh. I would like to note that this is not me playing Klimba. At that point, Haven is also playing Klimba. This is now a Klimba duet. Greetings in chat, Snoopy SM100. This was an effort at Zen that completely fell apart, and now we're just pretending we can play Klimbas. Though I suspect Haven might have actually been studying it.
Only like a couple songs.
Snoopy SM100, for the duration of this stream, I have been this one in grayscale, trying to help everyone achieve Zen. It was a complete disaster, everyone hated it, it will never happen again. Probably. I mean, give this another 5 years and I might think, well, maybe I just didn't do it the right way.
This is terrible.
We'll rush in. Extraordinary. Well done.
Thank you.
Recognizable and everything. Well, we are in the final 5 minutes. If there are any creators in the audience, this is an excellent time for you to promote your own vastly superior channels and content. The schedule for the remainder of the week is that ostensibly tomorrow I'll be doing some sculpting with Froman. I have a reason to believe that's the case, but you never know. Nothing's guaranteed in life. There's been one major point of stress regarding this entire stream.
Invert your throat inwards.
Look, there's nothing wrong with Inspirable. It's doing its best. It just has no idea what it's actually saying. And, to its credit, it's not taking itself seriously. Unlike, well, all the other hippy-dippy stuff that does take itself very, very, very seriously. The Adeptus Mechanicus is against AI because, well, they made the Iron Men robots and they went berserk and tried to purge humanity. Mind you, the typical solution to replace AI was to basically take a bunch of human brains, chop them up, and stick them into automata to serve the same role, but in a much less ethical fashion. I'm not sure that was the way to go. Then again, all of 140K is just a grim, dark future run by some of the stupidest characters ever imagined, with the exception of the Necrons, who seem to have they seem to have things down pretty well. You just can't fault the Silent King. He's doing a great job. It's a pity that if he succeeds in thoroughly closing the warp off, all of humanity will die, because apparently he needs the warp to exist. But the only reason the warp sucks, as we know, is because it is the manifestation of all of humanity's hang-ups, anger, resentment, sort of. I might have been levitating earlier. I can zen hard when I want to. It's going on a pretty good stream there of zen, then it snapped. Sucks until the else off. No! I refuse to buy that, Rizven. The reason being is because the Empire is corrupted by chaos already. This has been noticed by other human civilizations the Empire wiped out. The Empire keeps on organizing itself in a way that puts a huge metric fuck ton of humanity in miserable conditions where they largely long for death, and it sucks so bad that some of them begin to think that maybe signing up with the Hell Dimension gods is a better deal. I think if the Empire of Man could refrain from doing that shit, the warp would get much less. Oh yeah, the Eldar absolutely are to blame for Slanesh. And in reality, Elves are the worst. Anytime you're meditating or trying to achieve Zen, it's important to wear comfortable, loose-fitting clothes. Or something like that. I don't know. I'm not the monk. I just played one stream. Okay.
Sorry.
Oh no, it's not their fault.
It's actually totally my fault because I was the one who suggested we bring out the Kalimbas.
No, that's not a productive way to think, Kim. I refuse to accept that.
Okay.
Look, you can suggest something really stupid, and if I do it, it's really on me. You made the suggestion, but I chose to do it. This is a major problem in society. We have a bunch of people who are very eager to throw away all their agency with the slightest provocation so they can blame it on someone else. The downside of this, and I didn't really mean to segue into actual wisdom mode here, is that if you do that, you can't solve a thing for yourself. If all your problems are someone else's work, you can't solve them. And you're basically putting yourself in a situation where you're begging the person who's ostensibly responsible for the problem to fix it for you. But if they're the ones causing it, why would they want to? Presumably they hate you. You're giving your power away, effectively. Now, the way forward, no matter how stupid it makes me look in this case, is to take full responsibility for every terrible idea that you act on, even if it was presented by someone else initially. Agency.
Agency.
Agency. That's a real appreciation for it. And I think that's not entirely by accident. After all, the government really doesn't want you to take agency for yourself. That's what they're for. You know, to solve your problems for you. Which they never will, of course. But the idea that you think they could is something they clearly will. Well, maybe 15 likes. This stream was a success on that point. And if anyone lost consciousness of the course of seeking Zen,
They at least woke up when we started playing on our doorbells, as Snoopy said it.
well, they can blame me for it, or they could drink more caffeine, and that's avoided in the first place.
Yes.
Something like that. In any case, you can't solve the problem you aren't responsible for. If that's
Drink more
objectively true,
caffeine.
that's one thing, but if it's not objectively true, you're just really kind of shooting yourself in the dick.
Tell yourself that your mind is happy.
Proverbial.
Yes.
Well then, we're done here. Anything you'd like to say to the people here before we break down?
Well, have fun or fun will have you.
Yeah, okay. Meanwhile, so long as progress continues, success is inevitable, ostensibly. Cheers.
Yay!